Welcome to Conscious Living, where being conscious is the key to survival living. I'm your host, Jabari Simba, and on this visual podcast channel, we discuss topics that have direct or indirect impact on the African people and the African community as a whole. We will have guest appearances that will share their input on these topics, as well as free giveaways to our incredible subscribers on a monthly basis. Book readings concerning African Hour Story, the Gara Cosmology readings with the ultimate goal in mind for everyone to do our best to think of ways to resolve these troubling matters together. Dua, thank you for subscribing and sharing the content with the intent and goal to be part of the solution for African people and the world. Now, with that out the way, our awesome guest for today is no other than Miss Dawn Hemingway.
Hello.
Miss Dawn Hemingway. Welcome to the Conscious Living Visual Podcast. So, as you know, today's show is entitled Overcoming Obstacles. But before we get to this very important and sensitive topic, who is Dawn Hemingway? Can you give the viewing people a little info on just who you are?
Well, I'm a Southern girl, born down in Clinton, North Carolina, born and raised. That's where I spent most of my life. I spent some time in my life in Newton Grove. I'm just,
Shout out to Newton Grove.
yeah, shout out to Newton Grove. And when I go back, like car seats and strollers. So,
Exactly. Yes, that long people.
I'm just a person. I learned by trial and error. Um, I was born into the struggle. Actually, born in a large family. Um, 10 was raised in the family in that particular household, but in all, it's like 13 or 14 of us. So I know the struggle.
Exactly. So now, I noticed that you have a plethora of talents. Can you tell us how long you've been fashioning jewelry and clothing?
Oh, wow. It's like fashion and jewelry is like a part of me now, because I've always loved jewelry. I've always loved fashion. It's just something that has been growing on me for the past, I'll say 20 or 30 years. Just I just always have an eye for fashion. And it's like no matter where I go, people always stop and they're like, I love your glasses, or I love your clothing, I love your style, or I love your jewelry. It's just become a part of my expression of who I am.
Mm. Mm. And I'll make sure to put all of her information down where y'all can, you ladies, y'all can go out there and check her website out and invest in our people. I mean, good gracious. We invest in everyone else. Let's invest in our people. Let's invest in these black-owned businesses. Okay? I do it. I invest in a lot of my people. I just invested in, I don't know if you've heard of One United Bank. That's an all black-owned bank. Yeah, I put my money in there too. I invest in them. So, yeah. And they give you, I posted a picture on social media of the card and what it looked like. Beautiful card. Beautiful. And it's holographic.
Oh, wow. Iconic Dawn Creations first started out on Pinterest, I'll say about like
Mm.
a year ago. And we have like over 500,000 viewers every month, give or take,
Wow.
um, where I express my fashions in home decor, clothing, travel, accessories, jewelry, whatever you can think of. For the men, motorcycles, cars. I mean, anything you can think of on Pinterest. I have it on my website. Iconic Dawn. Iconic Dawn Creation.
Wow.
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 Tag it.
Well, I'll tell you what, again, I'm gonna put all that information down there. And you said you got some stuff for the men. Okay, so now have you got like the bracelets and the charms? Have you got that for the men as well, or is that in the
Okay.
works?
Okay. When I was speaking of Pinterest at that point. But I do have some things coming.
Oh,
I have some fashions coming for men. I want to like
yeah.
expand my capacity I would like to expand, and have more men jewelry as well as women jewelry because men love to look nice too. They love to wear their jewelry.
Oh yeah.
I really love bohemian also. Bohemian is one of my
Okay.
beautiful jewelry and clothing as well. So,
Mm.
switch up some.
Bohemian though. When you get that line going, please send me a notification, and everything. I'm gonna sign up too, just to be on the lookout for that, so I can be how's the word? I can be notified when that happens. So that's gonna be incredible. And she is talented, y'all. I'm telling you, it's some awesome stuff, y'all. The ladies, y'all are in treat. I'm telling you, and it's authentic stuff, and it's creative, and it's very fashionable. So yeah, definitely, I'll make sure to put all that information there for you. Now, you also mentioned that your inspiration was your spiritual dad. Now, I hope I'm saying his name right. Prophet Lovi Elias.
Correct.
Oh wow.
Correct.
Okay. So how has he inspired you?
Um, he has inspired me because I don't see church. A lot of times people they go to church and they sit in a service and they hear the same message being taught over and over again. And it's a scripture that I read in the Bible. It says, "Greater works that we're supposed to do, the same works that the 12 disciples did, we're supposed to do." And then I go to church and I sit in these dry services and they pray for you, and you go home and your situation is still the same. No
Mm,
stagnant with your health, still stagnant with your finances. Everything is stagnant. But then I go and I see this young prophet from Africa, but he's here. He's a U.S. citizen now, and he starts a church here, and the church is showing signs, wonders, and miracles. People are coming from all over the
mm,
globe: Africa, England, Ireland, whatever country you could think of. That they're coming, and God is using him God is using him and his church because the church is actually holy grounds. God is using that church to bring people closer to God. Just last night, I went to another service with Mama T, which is his spiritual daughter, and I saw a lady's leg grow right in front of me. Some of
mm.
the ago that I have the video, I saw the leg actually extend out. This is not the first time I've seen this in the services. We actually see, I have a
Wow.
of this guy that goes to service. The doctor said that there's nothing they can do with his leg, far as surgery or whatever. He comes in on crutches. This man is looking around in shock. He's able to walk out without crutches. We're seeing growth
Wow.
going down, cancer being people coming back saying they had stage 4 cancer, and bringing the doctor's reports before and after, seeing that people are being healed. God is
Mm.
doing it in that church. I myself, I was
Oh yeah.
deaf. I shared my video on TikTok as well as Facebook. When the spirit of death was cast out of me, I had a spirit in me I didn't even know I had, because I saw myself as
Mm,
being this nice. I'm so nice. I'm so kind. I pray. I love God. Happy-go-lucky Christian. But I had a spirit in me that was called the spirit of death. I had stage 4 breast, lung, and throat cancer, and that spirit was cast out. You could actually look at my face and see that I looked like I was fearful when he cast the spirit out. That was not my expression. That was the spirit that was in me. That was its expression. And when it was cast out,
mm.
I fell to the floor. Of course, someone was holding me, and as I fell to the floor, the spirit was cast out, and I felt a warm
Mm.
feeling in the center of my body, and I felt like a heaviness was lifted off of me. And he said, he let me know, he
Mm.
said, your body's going to start back healing itself. Your body, the spirit that was doing the damage is now gone, and your body's going to start healing itself. And when I went to the doctor on Monday, already the cancer markers have lowered by 30% already before I even took any medication.
Wow.
There's so much more. So much more.
I'm telling you. I believe it. I'm telling you, we might have to revisit and bring you back on for another episode. I'm telling you, you know, I think when me and you was talking earlier, that goes back to what I was saying, that we have become so dependent on modern medicine.
Yes, that's true.
We become so dependent on it. And again, I'm not knocking it or whatever. It has its place for whoever it has its place for. But what I'm saying is, particularly for Black people, is that we have to go back to our roots, and we'll see that we always asked the Creator, we prayed to the Creator, we had a lifestyle that lined up with balance, to keep ourselves from being in a situation where the body is diseased and in a state of things like that. And I think a lot of it is because we've gotten away from actually understanding the language of the body. So what I mean by that is, it's like a lot of times if you fall down, scrape your knee, right? You feel pain, correct?
Right.
You feel pain. You feel inflammation. We have to understand that inflammation and that pain is the language of the body. And it's saying that now, when you feel the inflammation, it's actually sending power to that place that's hurt so that it can heal. But we've been conditioned that when we feel pain and inflammation, we got to get something to take for it, like Tylenol and ibuprofen and things like that. So what happens is, when you take those things, it hinders the body from actually healing itself, which it needs no medication to do. And it just keeps the pharmaceuticals pockets big. And so we become dependent. Yeah. And what people don't understand is that pills are the number 3 cause of death in America. Medicine. Yeah. And we don't even, it's like it's a light bulb that's not going off with us. And if we get back to the herbs we used to take and get back to prayer, keeping ourselves in balance, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually too. That means we're more accountable of what we watch. We're more accountable of what we listen to. We're more accountable of the people we deal with. If you ain't on my, look, we need to be in the mind state. If you ain't on my path, get out my way.
Oh, yes. I totally agree with you. Totally.
And that's just 100. That's just 100. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. If you ain't on my path, I don't mind sharing information with people and talking to them. But you got to know, at the end of the day, watch this now, Sister Dawn. At the end of the day, who do you got?
Myself and
you and your body. That's right. So your body should be your best friend.
Yes, it's true.
Your body takes you everywhere you need to go.
I need it.
So how this works is that the body depends on you, and it trusts you to give it what it needs to operate.
Wow.
So if you don't give it what it needs to operate, it's like me and you at the gas station, and instead of putting the right gas in the car, we put water in it. We choose to put water in the tank. That car is going to run but so long, and then it's going to start to show symptoms. And if we ignore the symptoms, then the car, it'll just shut down. And that's this way of protecting itself. We have to look at things like this from a more spiritual perspective, get back into the way of our ancestors, and saying that, because we didn't have no doctors back then, they had no hospitals.
Right.
And they lived for a long time.
It's true.
When you go to the hospitals, that's when you start dying. So now, as the title of today's topic is Overcoming Obstacles, you kind of touched on it. You overcame the obstacle of breast cancer, and I think you said it was throat and lung cancer as well. My question is, what was it like finding out for the first time? And how did you overcome this obstacle?
Well, when I first got diagnosed back in 2014, when the doctor, when they told me, I don't know, I guess they expected me expected for me to break down and cry, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
you're looking at me like a deer in headlights. Because I was shocked. I was just sitting there staring. But I know the God I serve. So I'm just sitting there staring and like, just in shock. Um, I probably cried a little bit, but I didn't cry long. I remember hearing people many years ago when they hear the word cancer, they get scared and they immediately are in fear. And then the mind triggers them to think, oh, I'm going out of here. But no, I
Mm-hmm.
wrote in my head every day. And I prayed and I said, I shall live and not die to declare the works of the Almighty God. My strength is not my own.
Mm.
All of my strength is coming from the Lord anyway. He does not slumber, nor does he sleep. So I just kept that
Mm.
in my. I woke up. I shall live and not die. But I shall declare the work of the Almighty God
Yes.
every day. That's how I made it through. And like people would see me and they were like, you look like the poster girl for cancer awareness, because a lot of people did not know I had cancer unless they saw me with my bald head. And they were like, even with your bald head, you don't look sick. That's how people would say, because I always stayed in a positive vibration of things. I cried
Mm-hmm.
one day and I'm like, hey, dry your tears up. I'm in a fight for my life. And I can't be as weak because God is my strength. And that's how I believe that I made it through. God. I put God first. And I also praise Him through the struggle. I mean, in taking chemotherapy, like I took it, but I went through so much taking chemotherapy. Like my memory, the first time I took chemotherapy, it took a lot of my short-term memory. I would be cooking on the stove and forget that I'm cooking. Somebody would tell
Mm.
me something and I would forget. My long-term memory always stayed. But my memory was affected so bad. When I went to sleep at night to dream, I dreamed in loops. Say, say I'm having a conversation, like say I'm saying, Jabari, how are you doing today? Well, that would be my dream all night long. Jabari, how are you doing today? Jabari, how are you doing today? It would just, my dream would go in loops until I woke up. That's the
Mm.
effects of chemotherapy. I mean, my hands would be
Wow.
numb. But a lot of times I wouldn't say anything to people. They ask how you doing. I'm well. Because I speak things that are not as though they already be. I speak it. I speak my future. That's what I do. It's kind of like prophesying to yourself. I'm well. I'm well. I'm doing fine. I didn't complain because I know others had it worse than me.
Mm.
That's how I made it through.
Wow. Wow. That's powerful. And I agree with you, because I've never heard anyone say anything positive about chemotherapy. It's just another form of mustard gas. It's breaking the body down. But even with that, your situation, I mean, it's still different. It's rare because I've seen it break people down bad, bad. Like,
They told me I have the worst form of breast cancer known to man. The worst.
mm,
Triple negative or something. They said it was the worst kind, the most aggressive form of
mm,
cancer. And like I can remember 4 years ago I went to my primary doctor because every 20 days I'm at the doctor's office getting blood work done and all of this. And like one of my primary doctors saw me after 4 years. Because the last time they saw me, they said I had stage 4 breast, lung, and throat cancer. Well, they gave me a couple of months to live. And there she sees me
mm,
4 years later, and she's like, she said, she's looking at my charts, and she's like, your charts said 4 years ago you had stage 4 breast, lung, and throat cancer. She said, but you're glowing. She said, I can't explain this. This
mm,
is what the doctor said. She said, your face, everything on you is literally glowing. She could not,
mm-hmm,
for the life of her, she couldn't, what's going on here? You know what I told her? I said, it's the Lord. It's the Holy Spirit that lives in me. That's who I can,
mm.
not myself. I can't do that. But like you were saying, I can do the best I can to try to keep myself healthy. So I really need to read your words today concerning that. It's giving me a lot of go ahead, because 3 years ago I start wearing all cotton clothes. Every now and then when I go to church, I might wear something a little silky, but that's just for church. I wear 100% cotton clothing, my whole wardrobe. A lot of these clothing fibers that are plastic, synthetic, polyester, that it releases toxins in the body. Have you heard of that?
Yep.
You might know more about it.
Yes, I have. Oh, I know a lot about it. Yes. Like when I wear even my dashikis, or even when I have, I got a sister in Israel that has made my clothes. Another African lady here that makes my clothes, and it's either cotton, or I'm trying to get to the mud cloth. But those materials is good for the body to breathe. Polyester is dangerous for our skin because it does not allow the skin to breathe, and you're holding toxins in. So that is true. I agree with that, and the changes you make are incredible. Because most people don't. I've seen people in similar situations, maybe not so extreme, but even because everybody's situation is unique to them, everybody. But one thing I noticed about you is that your mind, which I've known this since I first met you, you got a strong mind. Like, you may not remember as much as I do, but I remember like when I first met you, like you slammed me up against the wall and was like, "Don't play with me." Like, yeah, you was tough. I say right there, you got a very, very strong mind. So whenever these things attacked you, and I'm pretty sure you've had other obstacles besides this one, but you are overcomer. You are overcomer. You are powerful, but it's the mind. People don't understand that if your mind is weak, it doesn't matter how strong your body is. The mind, if it's weak, will break down a strong body. But if your mind is strong, the body will follow. It'll follow. I get up every morning, and the first thing I do is I speak to this body, because I understand I'm not my body. But my body and we are teammates. We're teammates. And so I speak to this body. I wake up, and just like you, I give myself positive affirmations. And I say, you are healthy. You are beyond healthy. You are beyond well. You're beyond resilient. You're beyond consistent. You're beyond incredible. And the body, I can feel it livening up, loosening up. And I say, anything that you need to take care of today, I give you permission to do it. The body will follow. If your mind is strong, the body will follow. If your mind is weak, the body will be weak. So you've always had a strong mind. You've always had a strong mind. And keep that, because that's an encouragement for men and women. I'm going to go ahead and say it. You encouraging me. I don't care what nobody say. You encouraging me.
Wow, thank you.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, I believe that's
right.
All right.
That's right. And that's what we're doing. We keeping ourselves from being dull. A lot of times we allow the person to get dull and we stay sharp. No, let's keep everybody sharp. And our people, we need it more than anything. Oh my gracious, we need it more than anything. So again, stay strong in your mind. Notice that you said your short term left, but your long term remained. Notice that. Wow, that's powerful.
I no longer have that. The body has healed itself.
That's right.
So people like yourself is rooting for me and praying for me, and keeping me in positive thoughts. So I'm doing pretty well.
And we're going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to do that because, like I said, I love my people, and I always try to invest in my people in everything I do to the max that I can. And we're only going to progress better because we're waking up and we're seeing the divine beings that we truly are. We're seeing that now. When you wake up, I know we've been taught what we've been taught, but I just want to say this to you and all of my people that's listening and will listen, is that you are a divine being having a human divine experience. Wow. And let me tell you something. When you realize how divine you are, when people say, do you believe in God? You won't say, oh, no. It ain't that I believe in God. I know God because I am an extension of the Creator.
Oh, wow.
I can believe in anything. But when I know that I know that I know that I know, then I can act in that knowing. When you know that you're a divine being that is an extension of the Creator, the possibilities are endless because now your living has become divine. That's a powerful thing.
As gods, we are the little G's in the earth.
That's right. We're extensions of the Creator. He operates through his creation. And that's so hard for us to understand, but our ancestors understood that. They lived by that. And that's the way I live. And so when you live like that and you're able to talk to the body, because the body chose you. Your body chose you. That's why I tell people, they'll say, when's your birthday? I said, I don't have a birthday. They said, what? They'll laugh. What you mean you don't have a birthday? I said, first of all, I didn't birth myself.
Wow.
My mother birthed me, so that's my mother's birthday. That's the African perspective, is that the mother has the birthday. You know, so my time was her time. So I have the habit now, and we'll start, is that when my so-called birthday comes around, no, I'll call my mother. I'm gonna call her and say, happy birthday, lady. And she gonna say, what are you talking about? Say, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here, because I sure didn't create myself.
Wow.
When we give credit to these things like that, we're getting back into our traditions. And you'll see, once you start acknowledging these things and the body, knowing that you're not the body, that you are separate from the body, and that you are a team, you'll start respecting the temple. I mean, doesn't it say in the Bible to honor the temple, to respect the temple?
Yeah, it's true.
Well, we don't do it.
And my pastor is like a health fitness guru. Like he's really into that. So everything you're saying is lining up according to, how he views things as well. So
we got to start living what we talking. That's another subject. But I'm just saying, Now I want to. Okay, and, okay, that's what's up. So how you just started it, or how long you been doing it?
I just started it yesterday, so we're gonna see how it goes.
Okay, well, we grew up eating watermelon, so
I love watermelon, by the way.
I love them. I love it, and cucumbers too, because I grew up eating a lot of cucumbers too. So
okay.
I love them. Now I want to do a fun fact. Well, not the fun fact first, but I want to share some information with you that's very current.
Okay.
Now, so according to Susan G. Komen, and I know you've heard that name, Susan G. Komen.
That sounds familiar.
Okay, well look her up, Susan G. Komen. Her last name is spelled Koman. Susan G. Komen. According to her, the lifetime risk of breast cancer, according to race and ethnicity, is as following. It is non-Hispanic white women and non-Hispanic black women have the highest incidence of breast cancer. And that's including the rate of new breast cancer cases overall. Isn't that incredible?
Yeah. What do you think is the cause?
Hispanic. If I would say what the cause, I would say diet.
Okay.
I would say diet. That diet is 90% of the cause, because remember that the body is trying to heal itself. So the body will go to the extreme of giving itself cancer to heal itself. But we've been conditioned, and me and you, as you were saying earlier, we've been conditioned, when you hear the word cancer, you think your life automatically over.